Welcome back to the series on pivot tables. We're going to go over some error proofing because the way the code was set up in the last video, you could get an error. I'll demonstrate that now. The code is running into a problem because it's trying to create a worksheet named pivot table, but a worksheet with that name already exists. It went through all the steps prior to this error. I'll show you with the debug. So renaming the worksheet pivot table is where it errored out. And if we look at the worksheet here, it was able to do all these previous steps and create the pivot table. It just couldn't rename the worksheet. We can solve that by putting in a line of code that looks for an existing worksheet named pivot table and deleting that worksheet before it goes through all the other steps. When it runs the code, it can create the new worksheet without any issues. So I created that code in this other module here. And right here near the top, it says active workbook worksheets pivot table delete. So I'll demonstrate that by replacing the macro assigned to this button. And it's always going to warn you about deleting sheets. Don't worry about that, you can just click on it. And here it was able to run the whole code again without any issues. This looks better, but we're not finished yet. We solved for the issue of running the code if a pivot table worksheet already exists, but what if there is no pivot table worksheet? If a user took the time to delete the worksheet, his or herself, then the code will error out when it tries to delete the pivot table worksheet that doesn't exist. So let's delete this manually. And now we'll try running this code. And if we click debug, it's going to show us that it errored out in this first step, trying to delete the worksheet that doesn't exist. We can solve that by telling the code that if it runs into this particular error, don't worry, just keep going. We'll do that by typing on error resume next. And the error will still occur, but we won't know about it because the code will just skip over this line and pick up here. So I'll demonstrate that again. And there it ran without any issues. And if the worksheet is there, it'll be able to delete it and run the code without any issues. So it works either way. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below.